guys, welcome. I appreciate you being here, taking the time, and to listen to my presentation. All right, so what you will learn today is how to understand yourself, how to become the CEO, hero of your life, and nutrition, and how the nutrition matters, and self-care, self-help, self-love. Who am I, and why should you listen to me? I'm Nora Oliver. I'm a motivational, inspirational speaker. I'm a certified cognitive behavioral therapy and master life coach. I'm the founder and owner of 10 Times Nora Oliver, LLC. I am a full-time single mom of 3 young children. They're pictured on the right. I have a 12-year-old, 10-year-old, and 5-year-old. I'm also an author of 2 books, which some of you may have seen in the front when you walked in. I Needed a Hero, so I Became One, and Mental Health Nutrition, What Professionals Do. They're both available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Google Books, and my website, noraoliver.com. I am a National Small Business Association Leadership Council, NSBA in Washington, D.C. I do have a very exciting trip, a small business congress meeting coming up in a couple of weeks, so I'll be traveling to Washington for those meetings. I'm very excited about it. I'm also a local TV host. You may have seen it published here from Hoover Public Media Center. The show is focused on mental health. There are a lot of different topics, how to help you when it comes to depression, anxiety, parenting relationships, self-esteem, divorce, and so on. A little bit about me. I moved to the United States from Kosovo as a refugee back in 2000. As a childhood, I really had the best life a child could ask for. And come the war, we were forced to leave the country and immigrate to the United States. We did live in the camps. As you can see a picture right here, I am in the blue shirt. There are 2 of my little sisters and a couple of friends. We lived in that tent for a couple months right after we moved from Kosovo, and the situation wasn't that great. We didn't have foods, we didn't have clothing. When we left the house, we didn't really have time to pack anything, so we just went there with whatever we had on. So the food situation wasn't great. We didn't always have food to eat. We didn't really have warm clothing, and forget about getting, washed and clean. We didn't have hot water. We had to use those porta potties outside. So as you can see, we all have short hair. Because of sanitary reasons, we had to chop it off to keep away from lice and so on. So moving to the new country, I didn't speak a word of English. That was a struggle. I was 13, and that was a struggle alone. Being a teenager in a new country, not knowing anyone, no friends, nobody, just my family. So I went to Suffolk University and I graduated with a degree in paralegal studies and criminal justice, where I thought I wanted to become an immigration lawyer. It turned out I absolutely hated working in the law firms that I tried. So I went into the wireless telecom corporate career world, and I worked there for just over a decade. I enjoyed my time there very much, where I project managed multiple projects for the carriers, such as AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, and Sprint. Right then, I noticed I enjoyed programming your cell phones, being able to not only program, but doing the back end so that 5G that you're able to use today, I was behind it. I was putting that program together. And the E911 that's been launched not that long ago, I was also behind that. A little bit more about my story. A few years ago, pandemic hit. I was lost. I was going through divorce. Of course, at the same time, I lose my job due to COVID. With all that going on, I had no financial support. I was going through a very long divorce, living alone with 3 little kids, and no money. I was losing my home. Of course, with the lockdown, homeschooling, taking care of my 3 kids, my health was also on the line. So I hit the rock bottom. What did I do? Everything was going wrong in my life. So I decided, you know what, I have 2 choices. I can choose to do drugs and take the wrong path, where I basically destroy my life and my kid's life. Or I can choose to do something different and better my life and also the future of my kids. So I decided, the next morning I wake up, I said, I am going to grab a piece of paper and a pen. When I wake up, I made myself some tea. I grabbed that piece of paper and pen, and I decided focusing on my life. I said, I need to focus on why is everything going wrong. So I decided, you know what, let me take a look at my health. What's wrong with my health? What do I want to change with my health? And then I went on to my career. Okay, what is it that I want to do with my career? What do I enjoy the most? What path do I need to take towards that? And I looked at my relationships. I said, well, how many people in my life make me feel good, motivate me, push me to be a great person? And how many people bring sadness and are just pure toxic? So I decided to do all that deep dive, and I ended up eliminating a few friends. I ended up getting closer to some friends, and that's where I started making changes. And of course, I found out I wasn't taking any time to relax and take care of myself. I wasn't taking any time to have fun. I wasn't taking any time for my personal growth, taking care of myself, and so on. So what did I do after that? I came up with a plan, which I called it the CEO Action Plan. I made it my mission to then help others find their way, their purpose in life. Because at the end of the day, we are the ones that make us and put us in a tough situation, in this difficult life. And we're also the people that make us this wonderful, amazing, strong person. So it starts with us. So I looked at myself in a couple years. When pandemic hit, I was at rock bottom. And I look at myself now and I say, okay, I went through pandemic. And after that, I opened my own business. After that, I published 2 books. I moved. I bought my dream car. I received my CBT, which is Cognitive Behavior Therapy, and Master Life Coach certifications. I am now the NSBA Leadership Council. I'm also the soccer board director and coach. I was Business of the Month, and I've traveled a lot with my kids. And of course, I have my own TV show. It's a dream come true in a couple years. Do you guys agree? Yes, because I promised myself I would do that work and deep down listen to everything that I truly wanted to accomplish. All right, so you guys all have a piece of paper. If you arrived late and you do not have it, please put your hand up. I'll get that to you. All right, so on that piece of paper, I want you to please look at it. Thank you. I want you to please look at it. There are some questions, 6 questions that I want you to really focus on answering. Question 1. Remember to answer this for yourself, nobody else. You do not have to share this information with us, but the point is for you to start understanding who you are as a person. So 1, who am I? I want you to think about, what do I want to do with my life? Where do I fit in? And how do I matter? So please take a moment and answer those questions. And 2, what am I really struggling with at the moment? What is it that you're struggling with? Is it your health? Is it your career? Is it your relationships? Is it your financials? Put that down on the paper. And 3, what do I want in life? 4, what do I want to be remembered for? So if something were to happen to you tomorrow, what do you want to be remembered for? 5, how do I want to contribute to the people around me? How do you want to contribute to your kids, to your family members, to your co-workers, to your parents, to the neighbor next to you, to yourself? And 6, what is the quality of your relationships? What is the quality of my relationships with people? Do you have any toxic friends? Do you have great relationships with yourself, with your family, your kids, your parents, co-workers? I mean, think about that. What is the quality of your relationships? I have a quick video that I would like for you guys to listen, take notes as needed.
How much did they first pay you to give up on your dreams? And when were you going to stop and come back and do what makes you happy? You know why kids love athletes? Kids love athletes because they follow their dreams. I see guys who work at the same company for their entire lives. They clock in, they clock out, and they never have a moment of happiness. You have an opportunity. This is a rebirth.
Life has a way of pushing our dreams down. They can become buried under discouragement, buried under past mistakes. There are dreams buried under divorce, buried under low self-esteem. It's easy to settle for mediocrity, even though we have all this potential buried on the inside. All of us have things that we're believing for, something that we want to accomplish. Deep down, we know it's a part of our destiny. We can feel it so strongly. But then we hit some setbacks. We didn't get the promotion. The medical report wasn't good. Or a relationship didn't work out. Now, don't let circumstances talk you out of it. You may not understand why a business didn't make it, why a person walked away, why you came down with an illness. You were doing the right thing, but the wrong thing happened. It's all a part of the process. Your dream may be buried. The good news is it's still alive. It's not too late to see it come to pass. If you'll do your part and start believing again, get your passion back, it is on the way. Go back and try again.
Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. And understand that to achieve these goals, you must apply discipline and consistency.
I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living."
What are your goals? Are you going into the future by using your faith before you actually get what you want? Before you reach that goal, you have to live it in the future and take every step that you need to take to get to that dream. You're not waiting to reach that goal. That goal is waiting on you. We are the creators. We are the innovators. People will try to tell you what you can, what you can't do, but it's all in your hands. So I'm asking you today, where do you see yourself? What are you doing to get there? Right now is the time for you to do what everybody else isn't doing. Because when you do want to give up, that's the time you gotta go in hard. That's the time when you gotta get that drive, that grind inside of you. And today may be that day you feel like giving up. But I'm telling you right now, you're about to step up to a new level. And nobody will be able to stop you once you go through this. Yeah, you may have failed the class. Yeah, you may have been divorced. Yeah, you may have lost a child. Yeah, you may have lost a loved one. But don't give up. Fight harder than ever. Show the world that you are going to be great. That the trials in life will push you forward. No one can stop you but you. But you first have to change your mind.
All right, what did you guys think? Pretty intense? Any questions, comments on that video? What about the comments made, your dreams may be buried, but they are still alive? Any comments on that? Yes? Exactly, you gotta dig and dig and grind until you get what you want. You have to keep pushing. You know you have dreams inside of you. And I love what he said. It doesn't matter if you've gone through divorce and you have health issues or your career isn't working, whatever the problems may be, those are always going to come to you in your life. They're always going to show up. We call those bumps on the road. But what are you going to do about it? Are you going to give up on your dream? And what are your goals? And how about don't be afraid to dream big? I do want you guys to take a moment and share a dream you have, but might seem big, scary, or just impossible to achieve. Yes?
Well, I'm very poor, but I feel like one of my biggest dreams is to make enough money to buy my own house.
That's very, very nice. I love that. So you have a dream to buy your mom a house. She's a single mom with me, yes. Yes, it can be a tough life. But what about you? What dreams do you have for yourself? I'm going to assume every single person here has dreams. We all have dreams of some sort. We want a nice house. We want to travel. We want to be healthy. We want a specific career. We want to be specific parents, friends. Is that correct? You guys want those things? Okay. Let's talk about some steps you can take to understanding yourself better. You have to start with a vision. If you don't have a vision, you don't know where you're headed. If you can't create a path for yourself, how do you expect to achieve anything? You're just going to be running around, lost, confused. But if you have a vision, if you do that homework that I did, I thought about what I want to do with myself physically. And I thought about what career do I really want? Okay, I came up with, I love helping others. And that's what I chose. That is my purpose, is to help others, to work as a one-on-one coach, to do my motivational speaking, to write books. Once you have a vision, you have to plan your day. So you have a vision. Now, how do you achieve that? Plan your day. You have to know what you're doing from when you wake up to when you go to bed. You have to have a clear purpose, a plan. When you wake up tomorrow, what are you going to do? You're going to grab a coffee, tea, get ready, go to work. What happens after that? Is that just a plan? Do you just do that because everybody else does it? Or do you do it because that is exactly what you want to do? That's the path you created for yourself. And you have to take responsibility of your life. There's no blaming others. No blaming others for your choices, for your career, for your relationships. Remember, you make every choice in your life. Nobody else does that for you. So you have to choose what's right for you. And of course, you have to learn from your mistakes. We all make mistakes. And we're all afraid to take chances because we're also afraid to make mistakes. But mistakes are actually good. Had I not taken a chance to open my own business, because I was so afraid to open my own business. I was so scared to stand right here in front of you guys a few years ago. But guess what? I am not afraid now because I took that chance. Yes, I made mistakes on my first speech. I literally thought I was going to, I don't know what word I'm allowed to use, I was going to crap my pants. But I told myself, you know what? I would rather crap my pants in front of you guys and learn from that than never face that fear and never live my dream, which is standing right here in front of you. So yes, I did not end up crapping my pants. You have to ask yourself the right questions. What are the right questions, though? What should we ask ourselves so we have the answers? Well, you have to start with, what do I want? What is it that you actually want in your life? Remember, you're given this life, and now you have to decide for yourself. What do you want? What do you want to see in it? What do you want to see yourself doing? And of course, once you know I want something, you have to know why you want it. You can't just say, I want a mansion. You have to find out, why do I want a mansion? A few years ago, I wanted a mansion. I wanted a boat. I wanted my own private jet. But I didn't know why. I only wanted those things because everybody else thought it was cool to have all that. I would be important. But I had no idea why I personally wanted that. So I came to find out that I don't want that. I don't want a boat. I get motion sickness. I don't want my own jet. There's so much responsibility and expenses of having my own jet, which I would rather give that away to the homeless and help others. I decided I do not want a mansion. I prefer to be able to call my kids in the next room and hear my kids than be 20 rooms away. That's a waste of space for me. Now, that doesn't work for me. It may work for some of you, but again, that's up to you to decide what you want, why you want that. Once you know what you want and why you want it, next you're going to start by finding out, how are you going to achieve what you want? You have to make a plan and figure out what steps you need to take. And of course, you want to have an idea what it is that you want in your life, what you want to achieve in 5, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and so on. Let's talk a little bit about the positive mindset, because I strongly, personally believe that it has a huge impact in our lives. Now, a positive mindset allows you to see the best in all people and situations. Positive thinkers can approach challenges or awkward situations in an optimistic way, expecting the best result as opposed to the worst case scenario. So here are some key benefits for having a positive mindset. It can actually lower stress levels. It can increase productivity. It can make you more solution-driven. It helps you develop additional skill sets. It boosts your communication. So what are some thinking examples that you could start doing today? Well, you can be present in the moment, not just physically, but mentally. You need to be fully present. And you have to be mindful of who you surround yourself with. So if you surround yourself with, let's say, 5 people that are depressed and are always sad, guess what's going to happen to you? You're going to become one of them. But if you surround yourself with 5 bodybuilders. Guess what? You're most likely going to become a bodybuilder yourself. So, what does that mean? Surround yourself with people you want to become. And find a distraction. If you find yourself thinking negatively, or you're being influenced in a negative way, you need to find distraction. Get out of that situation. Go for a walk, make a phone call, or just sit in the quiet and go into a positive place. Anything that makes you feel happier. And you want to use positive language with yourself. Like, I am a good person. I treat others with respect. I love my life. And you need to create a safe space. And you want to focus on your own life. Stop focusing more on other people's lives than your own life. Maintain a healthy lifestyle. Reduce your intake on the news. If you're always watching the news, and there's, what's in the news? It's usually this happened or that happened, this person's shot, or, negative events, which can't be great for you. So you want to add some laugh. So you want to laugh every day. You want to balance your work and home life. Now let's talk real quick about balance. It doesn't exist. We all want balance. I want work to be balanced, and I want home to be balanced. Well, what balance means to me, it may not mean the same to you. So what do you want to do? Well, you look at work and you say, well, these are all the things I need to do. And you need to focus on what matters the most and get that job done. You need to do the same at home. What are some priorities that I need to focus at home? Talk with your spouse and figure out what is your role at home, so that you are kind of trying to balance them out, and it's always going to be changing. Remember, those bumps in the road, they show up when you least expect it sometimes, and you need to be ready to balance your life out. And you have to be honest. Honest with yourself, with people around you, your kids, co-workers, and you need to choose a mood-boosting hobby. Something that gets you excited. And of course, practice gratitude. What are you thankful for? I'm thankful I have a place that it's safe and warm to live in. I'm thankful that I have my 3 kids. They're healthy, happy. I'm thankful that I get to go to work, not I have to get up and go to work. I'm thankful that I get to go to school and learn. I don't have to live in the tent in the cold, no water, no showers. Now, let's talk about nutrition. I really wish somebody taught me this when I was younger. I wish it is taught early on. I wish somebody taught me about mindset, what to eat, and what goes in my body as far as water goes. I wish somebody told me that a long time ago, because it would have impacted my health a lot differently. So what is nutrition? Well, food is what fuels you and delivers the calories and nutrients your body needs to function. If your diet is deficient in calories or one or more nutrients, your health may suffer. And likewise, if you eat too many calories, you may experience some weight gain. And when you conceptualize healthy eating, your first thought might be about, calories. But guess what? Not always about calories. Calories are important, but your primary concern should be nutrients. Because nutrients, including protein, carbs, fat, vitamins, and minerals, are actually what fuels your body and what you need to thrive. Now remember, if your body isn't healthy, if you're not giving it what it needs, just think about it for a second. If you're not eating the healthy foods, and you're not drinking the good quality water, how do you expect to have a good vision? How do you expect yourself to have a healthy life? How do you expect yourself to achieve those dreams that you all have. It starts with taking care of your body. So I recommend that you do meal planning and grocery shopping. Healthy grocery shopping, if you could do 1 to 2 visits a week. Fresh and frozen fruits and veggies. Protein sources like chicken, eggs, fish, and tofu. Non-starchy veggies like lettuce, spinach, potatoes, and butternut squash. And of course, healthy fat sources like avocado, olive oil, and yogurt. And then you want to add on snacks, like nutritious snacks like nuts, seeds, butternut, hummus, olives, and so on. I have put together something for you guys, which actually I'll mention that in a second. We just talked about our mindset. Remember that. Healthy body means healthy mind, which in return can help prevent mental problems. Now, if you guys don't mind sharing, how many bottles of water a day do you think you drink? You can throw a number. 2? 2 to 3? Okay. 1 bottle of water? Okay. Anybody else? 5? Between 4 and 5? Anybody else? Some of you don't drink water? Okay, all right. Well, let me remind you that 60% of your body is made out of water. That means more than half of your body is made out of water. That means you by now should know what water you should be drinking, what the quality of it is. I see some of you are drinking water now. You need to know what the quality of your water is. You have to know where it's coming from, how clean it is. I've done that study for myself. I got freaked out by the numbers of all kinds of chemicals in my water. And not only that, but how old the pipes in my house were. And I was drinking from tap, I was cooking from that. Those pipes were disgusting. So what did I do? I decided to install an entire home water filter, which filters from the moment it enters the home, and then it's a giant tank. And then I drink from that. So when I shower, I've got pure, clean water. When I drink, when I cook, when I brush my teeth, it's clean water. Because you know what? 63% of our body is made out of water. I better make sure I drink some healthy, clean water. So I do recommend that you drink between 80 to 100 ounces of water per day. That's not that bad. So if you can start with 5 to 6 bottles of water, depending on how big the bottle is, you should be good. So I put together this sheet, I call it the Healthy Way, which before you leave, you're welcome to pick it up, it's on the table. My recommendation is to try eating 3 meals a day and 1 to 3 snacks a day. What I love to do, because being a single mother, it is not easy. I don't have a lot of time between making sure homework is done, between making sure my business is running, everything is done, and everything that we have to do between sports with the kids. So what I do in the morning, because the mornings are a chaos for me, I actually will make a very healthy smoothie. I have frozen vegetables, I have frozen fruit. And I also love, there's plenty of protein powders that you can buy at any grocery stores. A lot of them are non-GMO and organic. You can put a cup or 2 into your smoothie. Now you've got about 6 cups of vegetables right there in one smoothie, and you've got lots of fruit. You can add dairy. I throw in all kinds of nuts as well. Right there, I'm drinking that smoothie as I'm dropping off my kids to school. I don't have to worry about my breakfast. Now you want each meal to include 1 protein, 1 fat, 1 carbohydrate, and as many non-starchy vegetables as you can. You want to try eating non-GMO, organic whenever possible, and avoid as many processed foods when possible. So I hope you guys will, after you leave today, maybe do a little bit of research. What does processed foods means if you're not already aware? Because processed foods, by the time they make it into your plates, they've been drained, processed over and over and over. By the time they make it into your plate, there's no nutrients in it. So I don't know what you're eating at that point. So your body's not getting the nutrients it needs. So then you end up lacking different ways. You have all these different deficiencies. So you have to be aware of what are you drinking and what are you eating, and the quality of it as well. Now let's talk about ways to become your own CEO or hero of your life. Number one, stop worrying about what others think. Stop worrying about what I think about you, what the person next to you thinks about you, and only focus in your life what you think about yourself. Invest in yourself first. You want to learn something? Take a class. You want to do something? Find a hobby. You want to feel better physically? Exercise. You want to travel? Then do just that. And of course, you want to find out, you want to choose your influences. Who's influencing you in a positive way, and who's influencing you in a negative way. You may want to distance yourself if you have some negative people in your life. It could be family, friend. You don't have to completely remove them out of your life, but if they're bringing you down more than they're bringing you up, I think that's a good indication that you need to step back so that you can thrive. You have to take action in spite of fear. Like myself, I was so afraid to do a lot of things in my life. I was afraid to open my business. I always wanted to be a leader, but I was so scared to talk to people. I was afraid to stand in front of other people. I was afraid to socialize. And I was afraid that I was going to be a bad mom. Because I created that fear in my head. Nobody else did. Nobody ever said I can't stand in front of an audience. Nobody said to me that I would become a bad mom or a good mom. I created all those things in my head that we all do. So why do we allow fear to get into our lives? Just ask yourself that question. If there's something that you actually want to do, why are you not doing it? It's most likely fear. So, another thing that I highly recommend is let go of your past. We all have a past, but if you have emotions that you haven't processed, or something, an event has happened to you in the past, and you haven't processed that, it is time to now let go of all that. It is time for you to process whatever you've gone through and move past it, move forward. And you have to stop talking. You have to start doing. How many times I've heard my ex-husband say, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. And guess what? That tomorrow never came. I'm still waiting for that tomorrow. So you have to stop talking. If you want to do something, then you have to start doing it, or don't talk at all. Because it just makes you more negative. The more you talk about it, and you don't see yourself take any actions, you're actually making your brain think that you can't do it. You're actually creating more negativity in your own mind, and you're adding that fear, and that fear is growing more and more and more up to a point where you probably feel disabled, and you can't really function the way you want to. You can't make decisions. You can't do things as you wish you could. So it's time, and it's important to let go of those fears and stop the talking and start doing. And you want to also, number 7, listen to the people that have what you want. If you know someone that has things like a career, a business, or a family that you just adore, I love how the kids talk to you, I love how the spouse treats you, well, maybe it's time for you to reach out and find out, how did they get to that level? How did they create such a successful career, business? Find out the steps. Believe me, nobody's going to say no. If you reached out to someone that's doing very well in your life and you said, hey, you know what, I love what you've done with your business, and I've been so afraid to start my own business, but I want to know, how did you do it? What steps did you take? I don't think they're going to say no. They will give you some feedback where you can start. And of course, after you do all that homework, you have a vision, you come up with what you want it, how you're going to achieve it, then you're going to have to constantly evaluate, audit your life. You're going to keep looking at it and say, maybe I need to modify this area. Maybe I need to add more or remove some things that aren't working. But you have to constantly pay attention to your life. How is your health? It isn't great right now. Okay, what can I do about it now? How can I improve it? And then go do that. There are so many people in the world that you can get anything that you want information on. It doesn't matter what it is that you may need help with. There's always someone that you can go to. And the last subject, self-care, self-love. What does it mean? Well, self-love is a state of appreciation for oneself that grows from actions that support our physical, psychological, and spiritual growth. It means having a high regard for your own well-being and happiness. Taking care of your own needs and not sacrificing your well-being to please others. And not settling for anything less than you deserve. But what does it mean to you? It means talking to and about yourself with love, prioritizing yourself, trusting yourself, being true to yourself, setting healthy boundaries with people, yourself, your spouse, forgiving yourself, not settling for anything less you deserve, giving yourself a break from self-judgment, forgiving yourself when you aren't being true or nice to yourself, listening to your body, and taking breaks from work and stretch when needed. And of course, eating healthy, but sometimes it's okay to indulge yourself in your favorite foods. Oops. I do have one last video.
Are you committed? Because without commitment, nothing happens. You have to be committed through the storm and the rain and the heartache and the pain and the disappointment, or you're not gonna make it. It's a commitment. It's not a feeling. While they was golfing, I was studying. While they was shooting hoops, I was studying. While they was playing games and sitting up and eating and joking in the restaurant, I was studying. You can't get out of something that you're not willing to put into it. You have to put your everything, your mind, your energy, your effort, your discipline, your tenacity. Nothing is going to jump out the fire. If you don't throw something in there, it's not going to happen. But if we fight every day, one of them days is going to be my day.
So are you committed to your life? Please put your hand up if you're committed to your life. Good. I was going to be afraid if I had to call the ambulance or something. So that's great. Yes, you have to be committed. You have to be willing to live your life. You have to be willing to do all the work, just like he said. You have to put in your mind, energy, effort, discipline, tenacity, or nothing is going to happen. You want something done, you have to actually put the work in. Nobody's going to do it for you. All right. We're going to open up for some questions. If you have any questions on nutrition, how to become the CEO of your life, or self-care. You guys have any questions? All right, if you guys, oh, yes. Thank you, that's a great question. How do I get everything done? How do I juggle my life with being a single mom, business, and everything? Well, I work with a lot of lists every single day. The night before I go to bed, I make a list of all the things I want to achieve and I have to do tomorrow. And I know when I go to bed, I know exactly how to feel and what I need to accomplish. And when I wake up, I start putting a check mark after each one that I complete. And things that I cannot complete, I'm huge on my calendar. I use my calendar a lot. If I have to call someone and I'll forget because I have a lot that I always am doing, I'll add it to my calendar. 10 o'clock tomorrow, call Mary. 11 o'clock tomorrow, call the kids' doctor. It will notify me, and when that time comes, I'll know exactly that's what I need to do. So lists and calendar, it is huge for me. If I don't have those two, I probably wouldn't function that well. Any other questions? So you guys know what you're going to be doing as far as the vision, what you want, doing the work as to who you are? All right. Well, I do need your help for a second here. I do need your help to thank Courtney Young and the superintendent's team for setting this presentation up for you guys. So if you don't mind putting your hands together, please thank them. All right, thank you guys. I will head out to the table. If anybody has any questions, feel free to come by. If you want a copy of this presentation, please enter your information on a sheet that I have on the table, and I'll go ahead and email that to you. Thank you.